So this was a round that happened pretty recently on Funky Station's Cherno server. This was a Heretic round where I managed to ascend in about 25 minutes. Um, and I see a lot of people flub being a Heretic. Like right here, I could have flubbed it because I misclicked. Um, but a lot of people seem to not understand what you're trying to do. And so this should help give you a guideline for how things work. Unfortunately, I'm using a replay, so I can't show you what's going on in my bags or what I'm purchasing or anything like that. But with this, I should at least be able to give you some info to help things out. This is completely unscripted. I'm doing this off the cuff. First thing I'm doing here is I've just bought my path. That's what the cache sounds were. I grabbed 2 light tubes so that I've got 2 shards of glass. That'll be relevant for later. I forgot to grab a jumpsuit to cut up, but luckily I've got my latex gloves for later, so I'll cut that into cloth. And the cloth I'll use to make a shank, which I will then use to make a blade. Spoiler warning. The other piece of glass is so that I can make an amber focus, which is the necklace item. And this is really big because when you're siphoning, you really don't want to give any indication you're doing it. And the book is pretty noticeable. So here I am pretending to get ready for my job. I'm grabbing stuff that I think I'll need for later when I go to ascend. Thank God I grabbed some pills, because if I hadn't grabbed these pills, that would have been a nightmare. Trying to think how to increase the tick rate, and I don't remember. Very off the cuff, very goofing off right now. So I'm getting all my stuff together so that I can start. I don't have any eyes yet. First thing I like to do on this station, if I need to go eyes, is to go to disposals, because disposals has rats out in space. So here I go. The nice part about jumping into dispose up here is that it gives me a clear view of all of these halls. First thing you have to do as a heretic is go rift hunting. The reality shifts, aka I call them rifts because I'm lazy and dumb, is that the reality shifts are your primary focus right at the beginning. You need to grab as many of those as possible, and you need to harvest them while having an active focus. An active focus counts as either an open book in your hand, the amber focus equipped on your neck. There's a rat up there. I didn't even see it because I'm thinking, oh, I need to go outside. Oh, it froze. There we go. Yeah, I'm thinking to myself, I know there's a rat outside. Let's go get that. I don't even see the one up north. You need to have an amber focus. You need to have an open book. Or you need to have the cloak on, the armor from the armorer's ritual. Here comes another rat. Starts eating the organs. I was thinking to myself, I need to be making stalkers with those. Feels bad. That's a detail that comes back later. But yeah, so the first thing I do when I go rift hunting, I saw all the stuff in the halls, and now I'm scanning the solars. Reality shifts can spawn anywhere on the station. And so it's important that you check outside pretty early, just because there's a lot of space outside the station, and you'll see that comes to pay out, because I think I find like 2 or 3 rifts out here. So make sure you're scouring the full station for all of your rifts in order to get things rolling. Here I use the glass in the eyes, and I get the amber focus. That's big. Because I'm playing a Vox, I have a tank harness, so that's a little obnoxious. You can probably save like a little bit of effort, but it's fine. There's my second piece of glass. I realize I can't make a blade until I turn this into a shiv. Checking the rest of solars. No dice yet. Oh, there it is. So here's what I do. You might notice I just hot swapped the focus on, because I'm facing this way. This is a little power gamey probably, but because my back is turned to the normal direction people are going to face, they aren't going to see that I'm wearing the focus. There's another one. So what I tend to do is I'll put the focus on and take the harness off and put it in my bag. Harness is luckily pretty small. As soon as that's swapped out, bam. So I'm making some good money right now. There goes the book. You don't need the book if you have the Amber Focus, because the book's entire purpose is just being something you use to cast spells. If this was on Goob, from what I understand, that is completely different. Heretic functions rather differently there. This is more of a funky guide until we decide to update Heretic, if that's ever going to happen. I know people don't like Heretic. So my kill targets are a Salvager, a Quartermaster, the BSO, and I think the Clown. Obviously, I don't have confidence in getting the BSO. They're just going to warp out before they die, so, you know, that's a no-go, but that doesn't stop me from trying. I want to immediately go for my target because I know that I've got enough base power right now to deal with it, but I don't have my blade, and so the blade is the one thing I know I need. I'm thinking, what am I looking for here? I don't know. If I was smart, I would have just broken those tables, because those tables would have dropped off, and that would have been enough. I actually forget what my thought process was here. I see the water tank. I'm like, yeah, that's nice. I'll be able to make a thing with that. And then I see latex gloves. Maybe I wasn't wearing those. Maybe I found them here in this closet. Either way, this is a free shiv. And that is what I will use to make my blade, because this isn't Cosmic Cult. You can't just use sharp objects to make your weapons. It's got to be an actual knife. There's a gas mask. I'll be using that for my armor later. Important to grab one of those. Making armor is kind of obnoxious. Here I'm peeking into the Tesla room for more shifts. Making armor is kind of obnoxious just because you need a table, and now the table actually gets consumed whenever you craft, so it's kind of hard to like mass produce them if you're doing a flesh path heretic. And you do want to mass produce armor as a flesh path because you want to get as many minions as you can with armor on flesh. But I'm playing Void because I'm a loser who only uses the strongest path. I actually think flesh path has the strongest ascension, simply because you can get... See, here's a third one. This is why you come outside. This is why you scan the outside of the station. I think flesh path is the strongest because your grasp can be used to just turn dead people into minions, and that is huge. That is enormous. But if you're doing that instead of going Void, you lose out on Void Blast. But I mean, any path can gain access to the external pressure, immunity, the teleport, and the pull, and those are all phenomenal things. Yeah, we love Void Path spells here. So I'm down, what is that, 3, 4 rifts? Open the doors wrong. Space this room. Looking around, I see that shift there, and I think to myself, damn, I gotta get in there. So I'm thinking, I can't make a blade in here, despite the fact I totally can, because I just spaced the room. Here's something funny that spooks the hell out of me. Cargo comes in thinking they're gonna dock here. Also, as you can see, it's important that I'm jumping salvage now as opposed to later, because once salvage leaves, you know you're not going to get to see them later. So, like, it has to be right now. We are not even 9 minutes into the shift. And I am about to go for my first kill. Got my blade, I've got my spells, I've got my focus. Time to have some fun. Oh, I'm probably being a loser. Yeah, I want to get that shift first. And I know that I can just work my way in there because the Void Path sickle is probably overpowered. So part of me really wanted to teleport directly into the salvage shuttle, but I knew that when I teleported in, I needed that to initiate because I'm still not maxed. And if you take a look at my hotbar, you can tell that I haven't equipped my spells yet, but here I am making sure I bought the rest of the way down that I need for my combat. Am I? What am I doing in here? Probably making sure I've got the right guy. So, unfortunately for me, I'm looking for an IPC. Here I am presetting the runes so that I have a direct path to go for my sacrifice. Generally speaking, if you're going to sacrifice somebody and you're going to do it as blatantly as this, the first person I ever go for is command, and you have to have a command member in order to ascend. So typically, I would have gone straight for the quartermaster. But there they are. There I am spacing the hallway again. That'll get that scientist to go away. That's nice. So I'm in. I'm identifying my targets. Here I am fucking with the camera and deciding I don't like it. And these are probably the last words I'll say for a while. Now, it's salvage, so of course they're going to try and fight back, which I'm not going to allow. Did my hotbar not update? That's interesting. I was pretty sure I had void pull by this point, but I guess not. I steal this one. I get shot. I don't like that. There's the freeze ray. Yeah, I guess the hotbar didn't update. That's unfortunate. I wonder. Okay, so here. Yep, I've got teleport. I've got the void blast, and I already bought ashen shift. It's important to have that early because it's just that good. There's Max Speeder. Oh no. Get them. They stole a rat. Oh, it's over. I didn't pay attention to chat pretty much the entire shift because I knew that if I got distracted looking at this, things are going to be bad. I just stole the salvager's PDA, and I'm going to use this to get into cargo next. So as you can see, like, I'm already loud. Like, shit is hitting the fan. I'm buying my void pull. I'm probably also looking at what else I can buy. Next up is going to have to be Armorer's Ritual, Priest's Ritual. I don't buy the Ascension until basically I'm ready. If there were more void or more path side upgrades to worry about, I would endorse it. There's the Haas. I'm already like not looking forward to how that's going to go. Trying to figure out how I want to get into cargo before I remember there's a side path here. The Borgs are following me because they're trying to be valid. No quartermaster. Quartermaster. Oh, a rift. There's some Borgs. I don't give a fuck what they say. I'm going to be mean to them. Borg Law 2, please leave. At least this Borg listened. I've had a lot of cases where I'll tell some Borg Law 2 and they'll just not listen for a good 15-30 seconds. And then I'm like, as I'm flying away, I shift click. I'm like, oh, that's my target. Cool. This guy's trying to valid me because it's cargo. I get my mark on him. Give him a pull. So I just don't want to deal with this. Cargo tech thinks he can handle the world. I don't know why. So now I'm trying to leave. And here comes the Haas. Actually, I think here comes the BSO. I want to take a look at what happens here. There's the BSO. I barely got out in time. They're not stupid. They immediately go for the monitor, which is essentially what I expected. I went to start drawing and I realized, oh, I probably don't want to be here. So at that point, I just decide, well, I don't have to be here. Grab the quartermaster, take a jump. They aren't going to get in time to see where I've gone. I hope I'm not just rambling, but like I'm trying to give some idea of what my thought process is and how I like to do things. Mech. Uh-oh. There's red alert. They see that I've killed the quartermaster now. Dead command totally warrants it. I'm obviously using magic. Put him in, sacrifice him. That's 2 sacks down, and I have command. Getting the command requirement is the big one. I browsed through his stuff a little bit. I probably shouldn't have wasted too much time here, but, you know, it's fine. Once you go loud, like I do, time is always the biggest factor in pretty much everything in this game, if I'm being honest. At this point, I'm just looking for a way in. I know that I need one more sacrifice. There's Max already talking. How did Max die already? Did he cryo? I wasn't paying attention. I didn't kill him. There it is. Yeah, he entered. He cryoed because he wanted to see what was going on. That's funny. So I take this as an opportunity to patch up. I've already bought all of my stuff. It's unfortunate that I can't show exactly what my hotbar looks like when I'm doing this, but it's fine. Typically, I've got harm on 1, I've got my teleport on 2, I put void pull on 3. I've been putting ashen shift on 4 because it's important to have your teleport on like your safety teleport on an easily accessible button. You need to be able to hit that instantly, obviously. And then 5, I think I put my void blast, and 6 is where I'll put my grasp. Here, I'm indecisive, and that's never good. You don't really want to be too indecisive. But, I mean, it can't be helped. You can't plan forever. Look at me. We're 15 minutes into a shift. I go all the way over here before I check who my sacrifice targets are. I realize that one of them's Lucy. I pull up my PDA, I take a look at the manifest, and realize Lucy is the fucking BSO. I know one of them's Wester, and Wester is typically a clown, but that's not Wester. So I should be turning around about right here. Yeah, see, you just saw my heart go off. I see Lucy. I check the PDA. There's me clicking the fucking PDA light on accident. Here's some dead rats. Those will be relevant soon. So I pull up the manifest. I don't even think I looked for Wester. I know I looked for Lucy. Lucy being the BSO. I knew the BSO was over by cargo. So I'm running all the way back. I get armed because I'm not fucking around. Sack to mates of Psi. That's Lucy. It's the BSO. There is the chaplain. Wham! I'm lucky I even got that off. I decided to go in. I didn't switch to my Void Blade because I'm a fool. I decide I don't want to deal with it. So I'm lucky. They decide they don't want to deal with it either, so they piss off a little bit. I'm waiting on cooldowns. I see the BSO. I teleport there because I thought that's where a guy was holding a thing. Freeze rate, huge. He's got a flash out. This guy's smart. He knows that I might not have any protection. Void pull deals damage. That's big. Here's my thing, and there he goes. Very obnoxious. I don't want anybody to fucking use this damn gauntlet, so I take the gauntlet away. AI isn't quick enough to bolt doors. There goes the gauntlet. Nobody will ever fucking stun me again. Oh no, people are malding. Okay. Cool. So I can't get the BSO. I know that I've got one of 2 options ahead of me. Either I need to reroll my targets, or I need to go find a Wester. And I decide that I'd rather not do that. I grab a rat because I intend to make some stalkers, which is a mild mistake, but it's fine. Wish I could speed this up for just a sec. But basically, I'm using this to make stalkers. And these guys kick ass, man. This is also because I'm trying to make the Eldritch Flask. Don't sleep on this. Eldritch Flask is like 100 units of Omnizine, and it's got some minor blood loss as well. Like it staunches bleeding a little bit. This thing's huge. It's 100 units. It fits in your pocket. It's a 1x2. It's phenomenal. Don't sleep on this. So, did I got them one at a time? Am I an idiot? Oh well. Here comes the Hoss. I take no chances. I'm not even talking to this fucking guy. He's got his gun out. He knows what's going on. He's done. Yeah, I'm just not. I am just not dealing with this. Edward, no. Absolute dog. But I'm just glad because I get a free pen. I love pens. So I go back to gutting my fucking rat. I should have grabbed that other one. Oh well, can't win them all. Time on revs, the BSO police base really late, so I was revving the BSO hard suit. Deadward Myers. There's my first flesh stalker, and then I realized, wait, there's another rat. I wonder what this guy fucking does. I guess they just don't do anything if they aren't player controlled. I take the gun away because I don't want someone grabbing it. Should have done that sooner, of course. Always think about what other people can do in response to your business. Got my second stalker out. So I'm thinking to myself, damn, I wish I had another heart. I put on sec HUD so I can't get flashed. And then I tell them both, go cause problems. I really don't care. How bad of problems can I cause? Kill. I think about it. I forget what I was going for there. I think I forgot that I need to, get a heart. I take his pen, because I love pens. So I think this is the part where I'm going for the ritual to reroll. I'm digging around with my PDA here, trying to figure out where my nanotask is. For some reason I fumbled with this for once, where normally I just find it instantly. You're just minding our biz. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. And that's when I realize I need a heart. I come out here to look for a mouse. I can't just rip a heart out, unfortunately, because I'm not flesh path. At this point, I've already sacrificed some people. Like, you don't actually need that many points as a heretic, unfortunately. And it's mostly because there aren't other side paths to invest your points into. Here's where I start trying to figure out if I can just do some ghetto surgery to remove his heart. Obviously, that doesn't pan out. Usually there's something back here. Bingo, is a cat. So. Oh shit, that was the Haas. And then, here comes the long process of giving a body with a crowbar, but if it's what I've got, it's what I've got. Go to the pool area. Yeah! Okay, I'm gonna take a look at these guys, actually, because these guys, from what I can tell, did some fucking damage. They definitely caused some kind of problem. Because I know that they killed... Let's kill lights. Just keep EMPing lights. Yeah, I know they caused problems in engineering. Here comes salvage. I'm just not willing to deal with it. I know that there's nothing they can do. So if he's wise, he'll piss off. Okay, so I finally get a heart. I finally get to reroll my targets. And I see Morrow and Atmos Tech. Very convenient. It takes me a little bit to get there. Yeah, sorry things are kind of lagging out here just because I'm going to kill Combs. Morrow, Elk. I forget who Elk was for this round, but I know Morrow was an Atmos Tech, and when I saw that, that was huge. I forget what I'm trying to do with this. What was my plan? What was bro thinking? There's salvage. Yeah, I'm not fucking around. You wanna get in a fight, go for it. I do this because I want to space this room and make it impossible for people to come in here. And that'll buy me some extra time. This is where I realize, oh, I really should have been shocked. I don't know why I wasn't. I grabbed combat gloves just to protect my hands. So he's dead. That makes me happy. Take a look at my targets again. I just need one more kill. Well, one more sacrifice before I can do the ascension thing. Then I hear airlock cycling. It's another salvager. I'm good. He tries to get away. That's okay. I didn't see the Mediborg, so that's on me. But if I'd noticed that Mediborg, I wouldn't have lost the Haas's corpse. I totally could have just walked through there. I don't know why I didn't. But here I am, peeking through windows.
The emergency shuttle has been called.
They call evac. This was objectively the right call. They should have done that. I bust in, not sure where to go. Oh, I'm using the actual Relentless Heartbeat to locate them, and I think I saw southwest about right here. So I start trying to get in. Oh, there's my target. I knew it. They had the fire axe. Oh no. I take their PDA. I may jump. Poor Morrow. Yeah, I will be honest. Void Path is pretty lame. There's the Chief Engineer. I see he's got a gun. I'm just, again, I'm not playing around. These guys want to be goobers. I will be goober back. Freeze Ray is really strong. That's why I like Void. Very fun to use. And at this point, so there's my final body. I'm wondering where the Haas is. I'm confused. That was my final thing before I to unlock my ascension ritual. Game just froze up again. I wonder why. There we go. So I was planning to come up this way. The stalkers come in over here somewhere. Okay, there's Morrow. Good for them. Where are the stalkers? Because they came in clutch, like right here, right now. I don't know where they are. Here's the first stalker. Let's go! Poor Morrow! Oh, that sucks. Here's the other stalker. Where did he ghost? He's just goofing off. This one fucking guy is going ham over here. You aren't stalking us. You aren't stopping a stalker, bro. This is horse shit. Unfortunately, they cannot pull. But I'm proud of them. They did me a lot of help. I think at this point I have the Chief Engineer. Yeah, I've got the Chief Engineer's thing. I come in here. That's body number 2. Going to grab number 3. And they went the wrong way. And again, knowing what you need to do and how you can do things. It's a really good blade. That's the other reason I really like this. Where'd the stalkers go, I wonder? Oh, there's one. And here it comes. They're begging for ERT. Now I'm thinking to myself, I need to get armor. Huh. I booted this up to be like a guide, and I ended up just like giving a play-by-play on what my thoughts and actions were. I hope this gives some insight. I did pretty much just go hard violence because that was all I wanted. No, that's not right. I went hard violence because you've got 2 options. You can try and roleplay and pray that the security team doesn't just kill you, which I've seen a lot of lately. Or you can be single-minded in your objectives. Void Path spells typically can't be countered. Let's get real about this. Heretic is not quote-unquote balanced if the person playing it is aware of what you're capable of. Man, this is really lagging out. I'm looking for either metal or like a table like a good table I can use. There's my salvation. So generally speaking, you're a heretic, you've got spells, you can jump people before they can get the jump, and typically speaking, the first person to shoot wins. So if you're in a situation where you're playing a character like this, where everyone's first intent to deal with you is KOS, Just, like, don't give them the chance. "28 minutes in the ascent." Alright, well, there it is. I've got the robes on. I got set on fire because of the funny funky bug. I have the CE's thing. And at this point, it's just pure murder. All bets are off. So yeah, to summarize, first thing you want to do, make your amber focus, go hunt rifts, don't avoid being in space. Who's this, I wonder? Heretic. That guy's a traitor. He had something strong when I find my guys again. Dinosaur hostiles detected. That's when I knew things were bad. There are fucking dinos. I thought he called me and the bros idiots. I guess I was just wrong, but I totally wipe his brain here. I'm kind of a jackass like that. Wow! This is what I know. Oh, that's not good. Then I see this guy and it's all good. Gives me the middle finger. Based. What was I saying? Yeah, maybe I cut the video off here. This is pretty much just how it ends. I just go around finding groups of people to go for, and going for it. Knowing what your abilities are and how best to use them is pretty much how you do things. So, I'm gonna pause here so I can get my thoughts down as opposed to trying to comment on this. To summarize, shift start, get 2 pieces of glass, get a piece of cloth, and get some eyes from a rodent. Maybe stash the organs so that you can make flesh stalkers later, because flesh stalkers are generally pretty strong, if not just tanky and able to EMP things, depending on if the person who gets them is good or not. I don't like to rely on summons, but I was glad to make a couple. I would have made more, couldn't, get organs effectively, couldn't really give people effectively, so it is what it is. Get your starting stuff, get your amber focus, toss your books, drain some rifts, check in space, get your outside rifts. Once you've got enough abilities to work with, depending on your path, immediately jump a command member that you need because they're going to be big. Try and make sure they're isolated. The void teleport can be used on any path. Ashen shift can be used on any path. So the amount of points you're going to need to go loud really depends on what path you're going for. Generally speaking, though, I think the playstyle I am using here is more or less how you want to be doing it. Just focusing on a couple of very powerful offensive spells, Void Teleport and Void Pull. Plus your Blade is more or less enough to just remove people. And anytime you get put in a bad situation after dumping your spells and hurting people, you can just Ashen Shift out. The damage over time left over from the amount of wounds you just inflicted should pretty much kill anybody you get into contact with. So you're the heretic, you're like excel in combat. Being in a spacesuit is highly advised. Paramedic void suit is probably one of the best just because you've got so much movement speed, and movement speed is obviously important. Get flash protection, do not forget it. Get shock protection, do not forget it. As other antags, I prefer to get things to hack doors, but since you're the heretic, you can teleport through them. Void phase, for example, you don't need line of sight. You can just jump straight to a position without line of sight, unlike the ninja, where you typically need to be able to see where you're going. So keep that in mind. But yeah, no, just get some shifts before you get your sacrifice. I never try to go for sacrifices in mains, but that's because all my targets are typically the kinds of people that are just hard stuck in a department, and the only way you're going to get to them is to just trespass. So I hope this gives people an idea of the kind of person you have to be. Obviously, people are going to want to do more RP. I'm jaded. I'm an asshole. I just go straight for violence because the first person to shoot always wins. And it's whoever decides violence is the answer, typically is the one to shoot first. So I've learned to just be the one to shoot first. And that is how I handle most combat scenarios. I guess the only things I didn't describe at this point were how to do things. So in order to draw a rune, you need to have the Mansus Grasp active and need to have a pen in your hand. Pens are used for a couple of extremely crucial rituals, so it's important that you take a couple pens from PDAs from people you kill. They will inevitably save your life. Use the pen on the ground with the Mansus active to draw a rune. And then with the rune, you just want to, first of all, put your mansus away after this, put your pen in your bag. Click on the rune with an empty hand, and it'll show a list of all of your rituals. They all have different icons. Figure out what you're trying to do. To make a blade, each path is different. The Ashen path needs a box of matches. Flesh path, I think, just needs a pool of blood under it. You can do that with like monkeys or like someone you killed. Fucking exsanguinate yourself if you're really desperate. I wouldn't recommend it. And then it has to be a knife. You can use a kitchen knife, use a cleaver, you can use a shiv. Typically shivs are the best way I would do it. Amber focus requires a piece of glass, and it can't be reinforced. It has to be normal glass, which makes it a pain in the ass. So make sure you're pulling light bulbs for that. As long as you're wearing gloves, you can just take any old light bulb out of the wall. And the station doesn't need light. You're an antagonist. Remember that you can just do whatever you want. So just rip all the light bulbs out, break them for glass shards. That's fine. Get some eyes, find a dead rodent, stash the organs somewhere, typically in space, and make your amber focus. Make sure you have it equipped when you start draining. And then once it's fully drained, you can put it back in your bag. And then don't forget your armor. If you're like me and you're going to use space to your advantage a lot, because people are typically scared to go into space for good fucking reason, keep a hard suit on, keep a good mobile hard suit on, and keep in mind that you're going to be a glass cannon until you ascend. I know the flesh path doesn't get borrow trauma immunity. I know the void path does, and I'm pretty sure the ashen path does as well. So no borrow trauma immunity until you ascend. Once you ascend, that's a good time to make your armor. It's very good armor, so don't forget that. Flash immunity, shock immunity. Is there anything I'm missing here? The Relentless Heartbeat ritual can be used to re-roll your kill targets. That costs a heart, a piece of paper, and a pen. So that's why you need, well, one of the reasons you need pens, one of the reasons you need hearts. You can print paper at any time using Nanotask, very strong. So be sure to do that whenever you get in a situation where you've already sacrificed a couple people and you're having a hard time getting the last two. Otherwise, use the normal heartbeat thing to sacrifice people. And I think that's about it. There might be something else. I didn't cover some of the other rituals you can use. The mask you can get from the fire path, completely worthless. Don't even bother. The fire path spells are pretty good. If you're playing fire path, I don't value it too much. Otherwise, I think that about covers it. I hope this gives you an idea. If you want to ascend, if you don't want to flunk out, get killed, get DNR'd by security for not even committing murder, by the way. Like I've seen people play this antag and be clueless and kind of stupid, and they'll get DNR'd for like assault, not even murder, just assault and having magical contraband. It's a very green text as crew mentality. So if you want to succeed and not just get round removed by security for failing as an antagonist because you're a little clueless, hopefully this gives you an idea, and just be ready to murder. Security is there to stop you. They want to kill you. The crew, half the time, you can never guess whether or not the crew is there to valid hunt you or if they're going to be cool and try an RP. I don't typically take those chances with something that's high impact like Heretic, which makes me scum in a way. I think I'm about out of ideas. I'm rambling. I hope this helps. Go out there, commit some heresy, kill some people, ascend, show them a good time. That's really it.